Hello, EntrePods, and welcome to Season 3. This season, we are interviewing and talking about ethical entrepreneurs who are making money and changing our world. Join us as we discover how we can step into power as creators and business owners to reshape business into one that values humanity, our planet, and our shared future. You won't want to miss a single episode.
Hello, EntrePods. This is Jennifer, your host, and I'm so excited that you're here today. Today, we're going to talk about stress because, as we know, entrepreneurs, we get very, very, very stressed. I'm at Podapalooza today, and the great thing about Podapalooza is I'm able to snag some of the world's best people and shove them in my room and then interview them on the spot. So today, I've just grabbed... That sounds like it's so violent, but it isn't. But I have grabbed a physician. He's an MD, been an MD for 50 years, and his life is dedicated to telling us that everything we're taught about stress is basically wrong. He helps people from a medical perspective deal with stress, and his specialty is, guess who? Entrepreneurs. And that's why he's here. So we are welcoming Doc Orman. It's Mort Orman. He's MD. You can go to Orman, DOCORMAN.com. So welcome to the show. We just
Thank you. And by the way, I have no relationship to Susie Orman, so don't put me in that camp.
Okay. I wasn't even thinking that. So I'm really glad that you're here because stress can be just number one, stress is a killer. And sure. People are going through, this has been crazy 2 years. And so now we have it's incredible the amount of stress. You're getting people who, they lost everything. And then how do you get through that? And what are some techniques? So you're there as a doctor and you see people come in because stress manifests itself very physically in it can be deadly. But a lot of people ignore it. The whole put your nose to the grindstone, just keep on going. Coffee is for closers, all those things that I absolutely hate, the old way to do business. We need to throw all that out. So let's talk about that. What are some of right now, what are you seeing right now with the clients that you work with and how you're able to help them?
Well, obviously COVID, things were stressful before COVID, but COVID has added another layer, to in a lot of dimensions, to the stress that people were normally experiencing in the business world or in the entrepreneur world. And, it's been difficult for a lot of us and hopefully it's coming to an end. But so there are all the stuff that went on from COVID, all the fear, all the anxiety, all the uncertainty, all the, people being forced to relate more intimately and closely with their partners and their family when they weren't used to doing that, has revealed that their relationship skills were not as great as they thought they were. And our emotion handling skills are not as great as we thought they were. And it just exacerbated all the other things that were there before. And, even for me, back when I was 40 years ago, when I was a young physician starting out in practice, I had a ton of stress, just like most of my physician friends that I knew. And, they teach you how to have stress in medical school. And then they throw you out there and you open up a practice. They don't teach you how to run a small business. You have to figure that out on your own. And then you have all these demands and stuff that's, not unlike any other occupation. But the one thing about medicine that's interesting is it's hard to be in denial about stress when you're a doctor.
I don't know. I used to do physician turnarounds. So I was working with doctors to teach them about the business end. And I got to tell you, I saw a lot of doctors that were complete denial about their stress.
Yeah. There is a group, but what I'm saying is it's paraded in front of you every day. Every single day you go to the office, you've got people coming in who have, been carrying around large burdens of stress for years and years. And then finally they have a heart attack or a stroke or or cancer or some other illness. And you can't help but notice the connection, and that that's coming for you, particularly when you're as a physician feeling stressed and you're saying to yourself, my God, I don't want this for my life. So that drove me early on in my practice to want to figure this whole stress thing out. Plus, it was personally upsetting and demoralizing to me that I couldn't beat stress. I couldn't control my emotions. I couldn't, have good relationships with people. I had 100% failure rate in all of my relationships with women. up until my mid-30s. I mean, I just failed in every one. And I kept trying and trying all the stress management stuff, and nothing really helped. And then all these people are coming in, and I'm saying, my God, this is what stress does to people. And I'm going like, so it kept me driving. It kept me pushing. And then I started doing personal development work, and I started learning some interesting things about myself that I'd never learned in medical school. I learned some things about human beings they didn't teach me in medical school. They don't teach you about human beings in medical school.
No. It's crazy because you did corporate health and wellness for several decades.
15 years. Yeah.
15 years. Oh yeah. 15
That was after 23 years of practice as an internal medicine physician. But they don't teach you about human beings in medical school. I had to learn that stuff on my own, and I ran into some people who were willing to question, very solid beliefs that people had. They were willing to throw them all into question. And that's the thing that really opened the door for me to finally solve my stress problems. I started questioning all the things that we're taught to believe about stress. And I realized after examining that for a couple of years, I realized that most of what we're taught today and what we were taught back then isn't really true.